Hey, what's good with y'all, man? Black Enigma here. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, I listed like my top 10 personal rappers, on my personal list. And I didn't really explain exactly why, they're my personal top 10 or in my personal top 10. So I just figured, I make a series of videos, detailing why each one of those rappers are, you know, in my personal top 10. I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible, but y'all know how I am. So, it all starts back in, like, I want to say early 2001. That's when I got into, or like just 2001 in general. That's when I got into hip hop, for myself. I had heard it previously, and honestly, Jay-Z, he was my original favorite hip hop artist, but it was only because, like, my first stepdad, his favorite rap artist was Jay-Z. So obviously, as a young boy, you want to be like your male role model, or one of your male role models at the time. So I would, like, I appreciate him. I still appreciate Jay-Z to this day. I really haven't liked his newer stuff, but I'm the type where I appreciate people's past work and all that. But past all that, man, early 2001 or whatever, or maybe just, I don't know when it was, but it had to be in 2001. The 8 Mile soundtrack, you know what I'm saying? I started bumping that heavy, and at this point, I didn't know what he looked like, so I didn't watch music videos. I thought they was corny, you know. I was weird, man. I was a hardcore gamer. I was really into anime, all that, but I wasn't like a nerd or a geek, physically. That's just what I was into. That's just what I liked. But yeah, man. Like, I got into the 8 Mile soundtrack. I was banging that like every day for months, and like I remember thinking to myself, I was basically thinking, man, he gotta be one of the best out, man. He gotta be one of the best out, if not the best. So I know it was a soundtrack to a movie, and I looked up like the little. Well, no, I'm tripping. I ain't look at the detail. I just came to terms that I was gonna watch it. So I didn't go to the theater to see it, but I was like, when it came out on DVD, I watched it or whatever, and I'll never forget this, man. It was a white man standing in front of like a mirror, like kind of like jogging in place or whatever. And I'm like, man, all right, that's one hell of a cameo, one hell of a shout out. I can't wait to see what Eminem looked like though. But then I knew, like, his name was supposed to be like B Rabbit or something. So they called him to the stage, and the same white man walked up. I'm like, hold up. Can be, it can be. So I enjoyed the movie. I kind of like played the movie out. I can't watch it anymore. Cause it was like to the point where I was watching it like every day. Cause I was just into like that setting, that battle rap setting, and he was like my favorite rapper at the time. So because of him, I actually went back and listened to all of Nas's records, all the Jay's records, all the NWA, a bit of Rakim, some Big Pun, Snoop, just all Outkast, just all of them, just every Scarface, all of these rappers, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's only because I was always taught that hip hop is a black man sport. So by me saying like a white man was like the best without me even knowing he was, where I was like, I had to prove myself. I had to prove to myself that wasn't the case. So long story short, man, I came to terms that only two rappers, in my opinion, subject matter wise, and flow and just raw lyrics, could really stand up to him, like in his prime. You know what I'm saying? That was Nas and Three Stacks, Andre Three Stacks. The rest of them was a nice try. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Big Pun, he was still alive. Yeah, he was ill too. One of the illest. But he was deceased, so I can't really count him. You know what I'm saying? Not to discredit him, because he was amazing, but that's just how I was thinking. But So by me coming to terms with, I like this rapper so much, he became my favorite rapper. And, he just kind of stuck with me. Eminem show came out, a little bit after, 8 Mile soundtrack. And I didn't hear it right away because I didn't know he was dropping the album. I was like, this is before like internet, and I really wasn't keen to how to get hip hop news per se. Because the school I was going to, they didn't really fuck with hip hop like that. So I was just pretty much finding out news on my own. But yeah, man, Eminem show became, that might be my favorite rap album. Like, period. I don't even know. Just off top, just thinking about it, that album was perfect. It had the humor, it had the punchlines, had the goofy records, had the serious records, had the just the hardcore records, had the funny skits. It had everything. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And what I like is that he didn't take himself too seriously all the way through the album. And even then, like, I think the beats, compared to, his other albums, they were some of the best that he chose, per se. Especially like To Like Collapse, that shit still bang to this day. But yeah, man, the Encore came out, then like, but I'm not gonna walk through all the albums. Pretty much, man, it I started going through like really like severe depression. I was always like depressed, from a young age, but in like my teen years, like late teen years, I started going through like depression. I never forget, man. It was 2009. He had dropped a track, Beautiful, and like around that time I hated myself completely. It might sound corny to y'all, but I hated everything about myself. My appearance, my voice, where I was in life, how much money I was making at the time, like, my female situation. I hated all of my friend situation. I hated everything but my life. I was extremely suicidal. So he dropped that song, like really, connected with me. And he dropped Careful What You Wish For. And actually, like a couple of the hits on Relapse, like that's why I'll say I hated that. Well, I won't say I hated it, but I thought it was pretty trash overall. But at the same time, there was like some records on there I really, could relate to, especially like My Darling and, I don't know, man, I ain't gonna go through all the track lists, but Careful What You Wish For, struck out to me because he had like everything he ever wanted, everything that he wished for, but he was still, depressed. So I was just like, dang. So if you on the top, like if you one of the most demanded rap artists, in that time or all time, and you still depressed, man, where does that leave me? You know what I'm saying? And this was around a time where I was writing, but I wasn't really recording per se. Like I was, but I wasn't. Like I still have those records on YouTube, but you'll catch hell trying to find them. I think one of my subs on his channel, man, he can easily find it if he do a little snoop, but I don't know if he actually did, but yeah, man, just like ever since then, he really helped me out with, things that I was going through, like all through it, all through my life. Yeah, I just really rock with him. He's a decent artist, his wordsmith, his lyrics and all that. Even though like recently he's been dropping shit I don't really like, especially like Revival, overall, man, I feel like hip hop needed that, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I ain't gonna ramble on and on, man. That's pretty much why, in a nutshell, why he's like my favorite rapper. He helped me out. He's an amazing lyricist. He broke down racial barriers, within myself and within the hip hop community. Even though he's not as respected as he should be, because people still label him as a white rapper, even though he grew up around blacks. Me is what it is, man. That's just how the world is. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. Black Enigma out.